This is XCOSTUME and version 2.0. Let's get this going. Demonstration right here. Pick your character as usual. And look the same, but I have XCOSTUME on mine because I'm a player 1 and he's a computer, so he can't choose, but I can. So moving left and right, you know. Oh look, I found the cool one, so I just press start.
Round one. Fight.
Start whooping ass. Getting a little too happy here, guys. You get the point. Let's get on to the tutorial. Flawless here with Team Flawless NYC. This is the XCOSTUME version 2.0 tutorial. It's an upgrade over the older versions. It's very easy, very new friendly. I put the download link in the post below or the description below. It's down there. Okay, so this is what you're gonna get when you download it. It's the XCOSTUME version 2.0 file, which is zipped up in a WinRAR file, which you can easily unzip a WinRAR or WinZip or whatever. So when you get it, this is what you're gonna need. You're gonna need XCOSTUME, the download. You're gonna need Fighter Factory 3, the latest version. I put that in the download also. And you're also gonna need a character to use this on. Very simple. I'm using Kung Fu Man for this video. Okay. Alright, so first thing you want to do is you want to extract here the XCOSTUME. It comes inside of a folder. Very simple. Now you're going to want to open up the folder to see what's inside. There's two folders here. The XCOSTUME animation sprites folder, which has the sprite animation, the helper, if you know how to code Mugen animations. XCOSTUME sounds, you know, the sound effect that it makes when you switch through palettes. And then some other files here, the change log. It tells you what I've changed over the course of the versions of XCOSTUME. And then here are the two most important files here when it pertains to coding. It's the paste DEF file, which tells you basically what you need to put inside of your character's DEF file in order to make sure that XCOSTUME works flawlessly. No pun intended. So what you want to do is open up this file first, okay? And you're going to want to open up your character's DEF file, okay? And you're going to put it side by side. Windows 7, I could just snap it to the end. It's pretty simple. And you're going to want to go to your character's DEF area where it says info. And there should be something here called Mugen version. It should have an equal sign. Now, if you're using a WinMugen character, sometimes, you know, their version looks a little funky. So you're going to want to delete that anyway, so get it out the way. So now it's nice and empty here. And as it says in the DEF file, you're going to want to change the Mugen version to 1.0. You can do 1.0, 1.0, I mean 1.1, whatever version of Mugen you're using, it should work fine. I'd rather keep it at 1.0 because it still works at 1.1 also. It just has to be 1.0 or higher. As far as when it comes to coding the palettes, as you can see, this version of Kung Fu Man that comes with 1.1 is already coded. But most people have their characters coded through the PAL files, the ACT files that the character uses. That's the older WinMugen way of picking your character's palette when you press a button on the select screen. Well, the newer way is it's called palette key map. So you're going to want to add that here. As you can see, it's already here. It's a little more sophisticated here, but you know, just to show you, you just want to just copy and paste it over the old palette area. An old character will have palettes that are like down here. You just want to just paste it over it and have its own little section called palette key map. Now that's over with. Everything seems to be in order here. The palette key map is there. Mugen version is 1.0. Now you can basically you can save the file. Doesn't matter what you're using, WordPad, Word, Notepad. Just hit File and save it. Now it's saved, so it's good to go here. You're going to want to close off this file. We're done with this one. The next file you're going to go to is called the XCOSTUME text document file. You want to open that up. You're going to want to snap that. You know, keep it snapped so it's, you know, it's always in reach. Now this is where it gets a little complicating. We're going to be using this XCOSTUME file a lot. The first thing we're going to do that we need to get from the DEF file of your character is the author name and the name of the character himself. Not the display name, the name up here, okay? So what you're going to want to do is copy first the author name. So the author name is Electbyte, people who created Mugen. You're going to want to copy that. You want to go here where it says author name, and you're going to want to erase these question marks, and then you're going to want to right click in between the quotation marks and hit paste. Okay, that's correct. Now you're going to want to find the name of the character, and you're going to want to copy that, Kung Fu Man. Sometimes it's different than the display name, so be very careful. Make sure you put the correct name, not the display name, okay? It's very simple, not hard. Follow that, you're good to go. Now, basically, we don't need the DEF file anymore, so we can just close this thing off. Now we're going to be moving on to more bigger and more complicated things. First thing we're going to want to do is that we're going to want to add the palette files to the character's SFF file. What I basically mean is you're basically going to have to open up Fighter Factory 3. You're going to hit sprites on the top, and you're going to hit open. Now you're going to go to the wherever you have your Kung Fu Man, what character you have. You're going to open up his folder. You're going to find his SFF file, and you're going to open it up. Now, this is what you're going to do in this area. You're going to add the palettes to your character so that all of the palettes are inside of the character's SFF file. SSF file, excuse me, so that the code XCOSTUME can actually choose it inside of Mugen itself instead of having to choose it only in the select screen. So you're going to want to scroll to at least one animation sprite, and as you can see, there's only one palette here for Kung Fu Man, which is in Group 1. Group 1 is the palettes for the characters, and the index is the numbered palette that it is. So this is the palette number 1. So what you're going to want to do is hit add one or more palettes on the top right. You're going to click on it. You're going to put yes. You're going to scroll to find, browse to wherever you put your palette files. And as you can see, I have about 5 files here for Kung Fu Man. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold Control and just click them all and have them all highlighted. And since there are 5 of them, I'm going to hit open. That'll make 6 total. I'm going to put it in group number 1, and I'm going to put index number 2. Because it's going to start from number 2 and go from so on and so on. And you're going to hit OK. As you can see now, we have 6 palettes for Kung Fu Man. If you scroll back, you'll see it. It's very simple, clean, crisp, beautiful. Now as you scroll by, you see that the last palette here is probably meant for his portrait, so you don't have to worry about that. So what you want to worry about is the number of palettes you have on your inside of your character, period. This is a very important number because this number is going to be hard-coded into the XCOSTUME code. If you change the number of palettes in your character, you have to change the number in the code, or else you won't be able to select that palette in the game. Alright, so as you can see, we have 6 palettes inside of Kung Fu Man. Alright, so now what you're going to want to do is hit save. On the top left, it says SFF and a little pencil mark there, a little floppy drive. You're gonna hit save sprites. For this case, I'm gonna save it as Mugen 1.1 because I'm using Mugen 1.1. It'll convert this SFF file into a SFF v2 file. You're gonna hit OK. You're gonna scroll to wherever Kung Fu Man was at and save over his old, sprite file. And hit yes. Okay, it's saved over it now. We can minimize this for now. Okay, now we're going to go into the XCOSTUME text file, and we're going to finish what we were doing before. Now, as you can see, there are little question marks here with the 1 comma. Well, that's where we got to put the number of palettes that the character has. So, in order to find all the question marks in this code, I recommend you hit Control F on your keyboard, and this little window will pop up. And you're just going to type in a question mark, and then you hit Find Next, and it'll find the question marks for you. So I delete these question marks, and because he has 6 palettes, I'm going to put the number 6. I'm going to find the next set of question marks. Do the same thing. Again, do the same thing. Some characters have tons of palettes you can find on Mugen Guild or any other Mugen site that people make palettes on. It's pretty awesome. That's what makes Mugen awesome. Now this one in particular, where it says last palette, you're going to want to put 6, the number of palettes you have. But now this one is, you want to put 1 less than the last palette. So obviously that's 5 if you know how to do subtraction. After that, I don't believe there's any more. Nope, there isn't. So now you're going to hit cancel. And you're pretty much done with this code right here. All you have to do now is copy and paste some stuff here. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hit where it says XCOSTUME at, right behind the little semicolon apostrophe thing, whatever you call that thing. And you're going to want to scroll down to all the way to where it says XCOSTUME right here. And you're going to want to right click it and hit cut. Now that it's out, You can hit File, Save, okay? And you can basically just close this off. Now you're going to want to go to your character's folder, and you're going to want to look for his the CNS or state file wherever the state def -2 is at. Now if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically you find his main CNS coding file. So you open it up with WordPad or Notepad. And as you can see, if it's the main file, it'll have his data brackets here, and it'll show his life, attack, defense, whatever. So you're like, okay, what the hell, Flawless, where do I go? Well, when you're in this the correct file, and you hit Control F on your keyboard, you're going to want to type in state def space bar -2. And if you hit Find Next, and oh look, it's here. Now you're going to want to close this up. You're going to want to scroll down a bit until you see where it says state def -2 in brackets. That means you're going to have to put the code right under that. So very simple. You click in this area and you right click and you hit paste. So all that code that you had before is here. And make sure if your character is already using state def -2, all right, and there's code there, put this code above everything, but make sure it's right below state def -2. It has to be on top, so initialize this first above everything else, okay? Very simple, not complicating, all right? So now it's in here. The next thing you're going to have to do is you're going to want to hit Control F. You're going to find some old code in here. You're going to delete it. It's called state def spacebar 5900. Then you can click Find Next. And look, there's something here, state def 5900. Whatever it is, you just want to get rid of it. If there's anything special here, like that pertains to your character, like interactions with other characters or whatever, you can just cut it out, you know, just cut it, you know, just find the XCOSTUME file, and the state def is now in the XCOSTUME file, so you can just paste it in here somewhere, preferably on the bottom area of the 5900. Alright, it's very simple. But for this case, we're not going to paste anything. We're just going to take it out, completely erase it. Doesn't need to be in here. Now we can save this and exit this file. And now you can close this off. Now, here's the next step that you're going to want to do. In order to associate this XCOSTUME file with your character, you're going to want to right-click it. You want to cut it out. You're going to want to go to where your character's folder's at. Paste it in his folder, okay? You're going to want to go to his .def file and open it up with Notepad or WordPad, whatever. You opened it up before. And you're going to look for where it says ST, alright? And if there's ST here, you can basically go and make a space in between and type in ST1 and, you know, hit a little equals there and hit XCOSTUME and .txt. Now what this does is it loads up any codes that are inside of XCOSTUME.txt, and there are necessary codes inside of that file that we just put inside of your DEF area. Your characters folder. So now it's in here for good. So now you're going to want to hit File and Save here inside of his DEF file. Now it's permanently there. Now, just in case if your character already has ST1, you can just make a ST2 and then an equal sign and it'll be there. Very simple. You know, it's self-explanatory. Alright, now your character is almost ready. Now we're going to do the hardcore work. This is why Fighter Factory is still open. We're going to add the animation file, and we're going to add the sound effects, and then we're going to add the animation number coding. Alright? So what you're going to want to do is you want to scroll to the end of your character. This is where we're going to put XCOSTUME at, the sprite. You're going to want to hit add one or more sprites on the top left. Hit that. You're going to look for a XCOSTUME 2.0 folder. You're going to go to your XCOSTUME animation sprites. And depending on what type of character you're using, if you're using 8-bit for Mugen 1.0 or lower, or using a 32-bit character for 1.1 and higher, you want to go to that respective folder. You want to open it up. In this case, I'm using 1.1, so I open it up. Here's the XCOSTUME file. I open it up, and it's going to ask me what do I want to do with it. Well, I'm going to put it in group number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, index 0, and X and Y coordinates, I'm going to hit 3, 1, 2, and then for the Y, I'm going to hit 3, 3, 0. That'll place it perfectly right at your character's legs area, so it doesn't really cover too much of that character. And you're going to hit OK. Now it's in here. Okay? This is how it looks like. Alright? The next thing you're going to do is you're going to hit save sprites, because we're done with the SFF file right now. We're moving on to the animation file. Hit save sprites. It's saved. If it didn't save, just find the SFF file and go save it on top of that. Now you can close this project off, and you can basically go to the animations thing up top and hit open. Now we're looking for our character's animation file. You go to his folder, you'll find it there. It's a .air file. Okay, open it up. What you want to do is you want to go all the way to the end of it, okay, and you want to hit the plus sign right here. Add new animation. You hit that. What number is going to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit OK. Add name for it. XCOSTUME. What group and index you want the animation to run off of? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very simple. How many ticks? 1 tick. It's going to be a constant tick, so it's going to be a constant picture just sitting there and waiting for you to select your character's palette. So now that we've done that, we're pretty much done here. We can hit save animations here. The animations is saved. Now we can close this off. Now let's add the sound effects. Go to sounds, hit open. Again, your character's folder. Look for his .snd file. Can't miss it. It's in there. You open it up. Now you want to scroll to the end of this one. And you're going to want to hit add one or more sounds. So you go and you scroll and look for the XCOSTUME version 2.0 folder. Go to the XCOSTUME sounds, and here I have preloaded 2 sounds. One is moving it around, highlighting, and one is selecting. So you're going to want to hit the first one, and then hit Control on your keyboard and hit the second one, and then it'll select that one also. Then you hit open. It's going to ask you what group you want to put it in. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Index 0. Leave it how it is and press OK. Now it added both of the sounds. They're both in there, and they're ready to be played. So now we can hit save. And we X this off. Now there's only one thing left to do after you X this off. You're going to want to go to your character's folder and go back to that file that I told you to close it for. It's the CNS file or the system state file, whatever it is. Usually you could tell it's right next to the DEF file. You open it up with Notepad or WordPad, and under where it says data, you scroll down all the way to the bottom of the data area, right above where it says size. There are 2 things here called initiate persistent index and float persistent index, whatever these things are called. And some characters have it at like 30 or something. It basically continues certain variables. And what you want to do is make sure that both of these numbers are at 0. Okay, if they're not at 0, you're going to have a bad time. Okay, so make sure both of these numbers are at 0. And you're going to want to hit save. And you want to close this off. Now we can put Kung Fu Man into Mugen, and we can have some fun. Okay, well, this is my Mugen right here, my test Mugen. I'm going to stick Kung Fu Man in the characters folder since it's already set up that way. And now I'm going to open up Mugen. Yes, I'll run it Windows. Stop being a nanny. Alright, so let's go to arcade. Let's go here. Yeah, it's cool. Okay, let's girlfriend out for a walk. And they run into Suave Dude. Oh god. Alright, so let's go. Okay. We can basically move left and right or up and down, selecting different palettes. I like gold, so I'm going to move over to the gold palette, and I'm going to hit the start button on the keyboard, whatever you assign that to,
Round 1.
and it will start the round. As you can see, it's fully functional. There's no glitches on the palettes. It's perfectly fine. And just to show you, after the round ends, I'll kill the other Kung Fu Man, the fake one. And it continues on. It's pretty awesome. It's a very useful tool. Just in case, you feel a little lazy, you don't want to, switch between different palettes and keep having to press escape and stuff like that. You can just switch it in-game. It's pretty awesome. Did I say it's awesome yet? Yeah, I just said it's awesome. Alright, so this is Flawless. I'm signing out. If you have any other problems, I'm probably going to have to post that down in the thread or, on the YouTube video. You're going to be watching us on YouTube. I'm going to post a link down to the thread where I have this at. And you're going to post any problems you have in that thread. And I'm going to try to solve them on the first post in the thread. Alright, so thanks guys. I appreciate you looking at this video. If you have any questions, you know where to go. See ya. Now, this is something a little extra for the end of the video. If you ever encounter an error like this when you open up Mugen and you just want to play, like, oh god, let's go, I finished installing XCOSTUME into my character, let's hit my character, let's do this, I did it perfectly, nothing could go wrong. Well, here's an error that comes up, and it's not something very, very serious. All it is because this character, when it was created, made the root command for the start button, it made it S and not start. Now, XCOSTUME by default does start because that's the more popular choice for the command thing inside the characters folder. So, in order to change this, all we have to do is click OK. Go to the characters folder. In this case, that was the Divine Skullomania, and go to the XCOSTUME file that you installed. And you're gonna scroll down all the way to the bottom, and you're gonna look for where it says command start, which I recommend just doing the Control F search, and you'll find it. And there we go. Oh, there it is. I put it up on the top so you guys know that. Start. There we go. Now it should be in quotation marks. You're gonna just erase until you hit S. Then you're gonna go find the next one, and there's one more. There's only 2 of them. And then that's it. You can back out and save it, and now your character should work. Let's test that out real quick. This is a very, very common problem, but it's very, very easily fixable. And look, now I got some footage for the beginning of the video. This is where it came from. And let me see. You find the one you want, and you hit start. And you can go and fight on this really low frame rate recording. Okay, getting my ass whooped. You get the point, guys. Thank you for watching.